Whether it's the dynamic is romantic, familial, friendships, rivalries, or something else, the couplings in the MCU have earned a good deal of admiration from the franchise's loyal fans. Good team-ups not only deliver good stories but also bring out the best in each character, enhancing their story arcs and progressing them further as people. They also spawn both heartfelt and comedic moments that make for some of the most memorable moments in the long-running franchise. These are the best duos in the MCU, ranked by how memorable, entertaining, and important they are. Ever since Hawkeye's, Jeremy Renner, introduction to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, fans had been asking for a solo project adapting the comic book run by Matt Fraction. While it came far later than many would have liked, Hawkeye eventually debuted in 2021, giving fans exactly what they wanted, especially with the introduction of fan favorite Kate Bishop, Hailee Steinfeld. The Oscar nominee was especially a welcome addition, being a fan cast for the character for quite some time. The best part of the Fraction run was the dynamic between Bishop and Clint Barton, and Steinfeld and Renner adapted it perfectly. The idea of surrogate father-daughter relationships has become quite popular in Hollywood with the success of projects like The Last of Us, but Hawkeye turned it into a true partnership, ending with them on equal ground and far better people for it. Both Hawkeyes are also quite funny, leading to some funny banter. Sam Wilson, Anthony Mackie, and Bucky Barnes, Sebastian Stan, represent the legacy of Steve Rogers, Chris Evans, both in taking up his mantle and his effect on others. The filmmakers at Marvel Studios have been building the love-hate relationship between the two for quite some time, and when they finally got a solo project, it worked incredibly well. This rocky relationship between the two has led to some hilarious banter that was further exploited in the Disney Plus show The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. However, their banter isn't even the best part of the partnership. Bucky and Sam's wildly different personalities allow the other to grow and learn from each other's perspectives on life, becoming both better heroes and, more importantly, people. Many complain that the relationship between Wanda Maximoff, Elizabeth Olsen, and Vision, Paul Bettany, was underdeveloped. After all, they seem to be at drastically new places in their relationship in each film, going from friends in Captain America, Civil War to the love of each other's lives in Avengers, Infinity War. Still, it can't be denied that this pairing is adorable and absolutely iconic, so much so that it spawned WandaVision, which became one of the best and most successful Marvel Studios Disney Plus shows. Their connection, especially in WandaVision, is very compelling. Vision's death in Avengers, Infinity War was sad, but the fact that Wanda had to kill him was especially devastating, largely thanks to Elizabeth Olsen's wonderful performance. Wanda and Vision's love is bittersweet and makes it one of the most riveting in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. One of the fan-favorite pairings in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is the father-son relationship between Spider-Man, Tom Holland, and Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. While many had a problem with Peter's connection to Stark, their scenes together make the duo extremely lovable. Spider-Man's young and spry nature pairs perfectly with the older, snippy armored Avenger. The pairing also allows for some incredible growth for both. One of Spidey's best arcs in the MCU is learning to step out of the shadow of Iron Man and focus on the little guy in Spider-Man: Homecoming. Peter Parker also taught Tony how to be a father before he had his daughter in Avengers: Endgame. The two share a surprisingly heartwarming mentor-mentee bond, and they both mature greatly because of it. From the first moment that the green alter ego of Bruce Banner, Mark Ruffalo, met Thor, Chris Hemsworth, in the Avengers, a rivalry spawned. However, their dynamic evolved considerably from their fight on the helicarrier to their meeting in Thor: Ragnarok on Sakaar. And through it all, the rivalry between the two strongest Avengers has been a fun ride. What's great about these two is that, much like Sam Wilson and Bucky Barnes, they love and hate each other at the same time. This unique dynamic is best displayed through their pairing in Thor: Ragnarok, where they're constantly arguing about who is stronger and trying to one-up each other. But when it comes down to the wire, the two will always be there to support one another. The friendship between James Rhodey Rhodes, Don Cheadle, Terrence Howard, and Tony Stark is one for the ages. No matter what shenanigans the billionaire is up to, Rhodey is there. What makes their friendship so special is that it's not always sunshine and rainbows. However, they stick with each other, even when Rhodes needs to beat the crap out of his drunk friend to whip him into shape. The greatest friendships are those that not only support each other positively but also hold each other accountable and push each other to grow and learn from their mistakes. Rhodes has been around, doing that for Tony for quite some time. They have been through thick and thin, and their bond has only grown stronger over the years. Another one of the longest-lasting relationships in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is between Hawkeye and Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson. The two are so close that she's one of the only people on the planet who knows about Clint's family. They're the two secret agents and decidedly human characters in the original Avengers lineup, and their history connects them in an absurdly compelling way. Their history is hinted at and spoken about quite a bit throughout the franchise, but when they got more of a look into it with Black Widow, it adds so much to the context behind their friendship. Together, Clint and Natasha have been through so much, and it shows. Clint's mourning at Natasha's well-earned sacrifice in Endgame is quite heartbreaking and another example of how close they were. The rough around-the-edges brotherhood between Thor and Loki, Tom Hiddleston, has been a cornerstone to both of their character arcs throughout their journeys. The god of mischief consistently betrays his brother, but Thor always holds out hope for him deep in his heart. When their relationship finally seems saved in the third Thor movie, fans worldwide rejoiced. Alas, the happiness was short-lived, with Loki's death in Avengers: Infinity War. Until the very end, Thor and Loki were brothers. Loki's dying words, reaffirming his place in Thor's family, broke hearts all over the world. Their relationship was so central to both of their characters, which only amplifies how important this duo was, not only to each other but to the audience. "I'm with you to the end of the line" is a piece of dialogue that has echoed through the heads of Marvel fans for years. It's the line that drove Captain America's arc through almost his entire time in the MCU. His connection and bond with Bucky is unbelievably strong, having known each other for the most part of their ridiculously long lives, when aware, though. He basically went to war with the other Avengers and the government over his friend's innocence. Steve and Bucky's friendship is a huge reason why Captain America: The Winter Soldier was as emotionally compelling. Their friendship is one of the cornerstones of the MCU, defining much of their lives as both people and Avengers. In many ways, Bucky is Steve's logical heir, and their bond has pretty much transcended time itself. Without Bucky Barnes, Steve Rogers simply wouldn't be the man he is today, and vice versa. The best duo in the Marvel Cinematic Universe has to go to Rocket Raccoon, Bradley Cooper, and Groot, Vin Diesel. The two are extremely lovable together and one of the most wholesome pairings in the franchise. When they're introduced in Guardians of the Galaxy, it's established that Groot is a silly and lovable goofball, while Rocket is a trigger-happy wise talker, making for a great contrast of personalities. When the first Groot meets his end on Ronan the Accuser's, Guy Pearce, ship, the second is born from a twig of his predecessor. This new young Groot gives Rocket a whole new kind of relationship, that of a fatherly figure. The two have been so close over the years and, no matter what, have always supported each other, making them the MCU's true ride or die.